See, it says live, but the little, oh, there we go. I think we're on. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I'm Nancy Yawner with Love to List, coming to you from the heart of my home, my kitchen, where I share a little bit of real estate, a little bit of health and home with you each week. Well, as consistently as I can. Sometimes I have to have an appointment or I might be on travel. But anyways, I do come to you on a consistent basis, and I love joining you on Tuesdays and bringing you a little extra value. So I am super excited to be joined here today with Michelle Wood. Michelle Wood is a dear friend. She started out as a client and then became friends, and in 2019 we connected, and when I downsized my business, I asked Michelle to be my personal assistant. And so we've worked together now for 4 years, but have known each other for
Since 2008.
since 2008. So, and Michelle is a joy to work with and keeps me on track. She's a very organized person, and I've learned a lot from Michelle. And so she's going to talk to us today about decluttering and how actually some people like have an aversion to decluttering, and she's going to give us some advice on how you can start small and give us some tips. But before we have her expertise here, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one is we have our seller workshop coming up the second Saturday of every month, and it's Saturday morning time frame, starts at 9, and the next one is June 8th, and it's a very detailed workshop. It's about 45 minutes, and it really helps you if you're thinking about selling now or in the new future before the end of the year. It would be very helpful. You can join for free. You can join anywhere you are from the country, anywhere in the country. We'd love to have you, and it's very, very informational, educational, for what to look for in an agent, how to get the process started, what are some of the key things you need to do before market, and how that process goes. So keep that in mind. And then we're doing the Postscript Saturdays, which is a little PS to our real estate week, and it's been very well received. And last week I talked about fiduciary versus functionary, which is very important. So if you haven't seen that, that is actually on our YouTube channel, along with all of our From the Heart of the Homes are on the YouTube channel as well. And you can always share this information with anybody. So 2 things I wanted to tell you about that. Also got 2 fabulous homes coming to market this week. One in Leesburg, which is on the south side of Leesburg, minutes to Idley Park, to restaurants, to shopping. Morven Park, I'm telling you, it's a great location. It's a beautiful home, listed just over 900,000, and you are going to love seeing those photos. I know, it's beautiful. And then we have this country home on 5 acres outside of Winchester, and this has one of the nicest front porches, wrap around, and it also has a 2-car garage and a 3-car detached. So you car lovers or people that like to play in the garage with different tinkering or whatever, you will really love seeing this home as well. And that's 800,000. So wanted to let you know about that. Well, meanwhile, Michelle, when you are thinking about decluttering and you talk to your clients, so she's my personal assistant, but she works certain days a week for me, and then she has her whole other business, plus she's a mother and of 2 kids and a wife, and she's got lots of talents, but she is a great organizer. So Michelle, tell us a little bit about how to start small.
So I think people tend to, in the springtime, think about getting organized. It seems to happen at the first of the year and then again in the spring. And they start thinking about organizing projects, but they oftentimes get really overwhelmed because it seems to be too much. And as soon as you start to feel overwhelmed, you kind of shut down and you never get started. So when you are getting organized, part of the process is decluttering. And I like to tell clients that is a really great way to get started because it's a way to start small. So what you want to do is pick a small project, and we're going to cover a few examples. And anytime you're decluttering, you basically want to go into it with the mindset there's three things you're doing. You're either keeping items, you're tossing items, or I like to think you're recycling items
Oh, I'm
or
gonna write that down.
donating. So keep, toss, donate. That's the mindset I use. If you feel like you're ready to get started and this is going to be an ongoing thing that you want to be active with, I suggest getting some boxes, labeling those boxes, keep, toss, donate.
Oh.
And then that way, as you're starting this process, you have a place to put those things.
Oh, so like if I'm like, let's say I decide to start a project, I take these 3 boxes and I put them in my kitchen or something.
Sure.
If I do it like doesn't mean I have to do it all in one day. is what
Exactly.
okay.
Exactly. So it's accessible and you can just do it in 10, 15-minute increments. And I find that is the most successful way to start.
That doesn't seem nearly as overwhelming.
No. So the simplest type of projects you can start with decluttering are things like magazines, books, CDs, DVDs. A lot of this type of media isn't being used as much anymore. We're accessing things digitally now. However, that being said, there are people that still want those items and can use that item. So if you've got books or magazines, for example, that you go through, you could take a stack and in 5 minutes go through and figure out what you want to donate, what you want to toss, like what's really out of date, and what you want to keep. And places like the library or around here we have Blue Ridge Hospice,
Right.
which they're happy to take those types of donations. So that's a really good small project to start with, something that's simple. I think we all probably have some type of magazine, cookbook subscriptions, there's so many things out there.
Well, it's interesting because when you came into the house, you mentioned my cookbooks, and I'm like, come to think about it, I mean, some of these cookbooks are like 30 years plus, almost 40 years old or something. And, I could probably declutter that a little bit because mainly I go on my computer when I'm looking for a new recipe.
And that's the thing now. It's so easy to find what you want online that people aren't using the touchables anymore. Really the mindset is if you look at something, I like to think a year or two if you haven't touched it, but maybe you want to use a 5-year rule when it comes to something like a cookbook. There are a lot of those types of items that are just sitting there collecting dust and really you're probably never going to use them again. So you might as well pass them on to somebody who can't use them. Mm-hmm. So another quick, easy example is I think all of us probably have junk drawers somewhere in the house.
Yes.
Drawers that just collect a little bit of everything.
Yes.
I probably once a month, once every 2 months, just will we have one drawer in the kitchen that's really bad like that. We have a bin in the laundry room and basically 10 minutes, dump everything on the counter, sort it out, figure out what I'm going to toss, what I'm going to keep, not necessarily donate in that situation. But a good way to keep yourself organized, even when you're doing these small decluttering projects, is I use baggies a lot of the times. I just find that baggies are a really good way to contain small like items, whether it's pens and pencils, chapstick and hand sanitizer, Post-it notes. Whatever it may be, baggies just tend to be a really great way to contain small like items.
Well, it's interesting. We have a seller who's also a professional organizer. We have her house coming to market, the townhouse in Reston. And she uses a lot of cups. She puts stuff in cups like everywhere. Like no drawers, she's got these little cups. So I guess any type of container.
Yeah,
right?
You don't have to go out and buy expensive stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the things in my cabinets and my drawers, If it's not baggies, I'll use shoe boxes.
Oh.
Or other boxes that, something's been shipped in that are small. I tend to recycle those and use them to contain things in my drawers.
I had never thought about that. Speaking of baggies, like right next to my kitchen sink, I've got my towels, but I'm always cleaning my glasses. So I keep everything from my cleaning my glasses.
That's exactly. Yeah, just like that. Absolutely.
And it makes it so easy. I could just sit. We used to keep it up like above up where the medicine is. I always had to kind of search for it. So I love the little baggie idea.
So another two other areas real quick that we can touch on. One is the bathroom as far as a quick declutter project. And if you go into your medicine cabinet, a lot of people will keep prescriptions on hand past the time that they're using them. They get old, they expire. You may buy an over-the-counter medication and then you don't realize it's expired. So I suggest once a year at least going through, checking the dates on those things. And you don't have to throw those things in the garbage. And what you want to do is around here with the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office, if you go online and look, they have prescription recycling bins at multiple locations throughout the county. So you can just take any old prescriptions or over-the-counter medication you have and drop it off in those boxes for recycling. And I find that's a really great thing. Also, as you're going through your bathroom, some of us wear glasses and have a tendency as you get a new pair to maybe put the old pair in the cabinet and say, well, I'll keep these as backup. I'll keep these as backup. And then all of a sudden you go into your cabinet and you have 5 pairs of prescription glasses that you're not using anymore. There are drop boxes at a lot of Walmart locations to recycle those things. So just another small declutter project you can do. Finally, I want to touch on the kitchen. The kitchen is a really, really easy way to take on a little small project. It could be your spice cabinet. It could be your pantry. A lot of us keep dry goods on hand.
Oh, that's what I was going to show you. Like in my pantry. And by the way, hi, Grace. Nice to see you. And also, of course, Mom and Deb and Jackie. Thanks for joining. Anyways, so I have these spices I use for like chili and different things. So I keep all of them in here. Let me show you. I mean, you can see, but see, like I've got quite a few. And then this also, and Michelle taught me how to do this. I mean, Michelle helped me with my pantry. I do all my tea in a container as well. And it's just, oh my gosh, it just makes your life so it's efficient.
Well, yes, because when you contain like things, and a lot of times with our cabinets, people have a tendency to just put more in, put more in, put more in.
Yes.
And then you don't see what's behind or what's underneath. And so by containing things, you have something that's mobile that you can then, extract that, look underneath. Then you're going to start using all of your items and things don't get lost and expire. But again, it's a really easy project to go through, check the dates on things, keep or toss, keep or toss. And you'll find in 10 to 15 minutes, you can actually get through a lot. And what I find with a lot of my clients is as soon as they start doing some of these small projects, these 10 to 15 minute projects, it gets easier and easier, and then you can take on the bigger things.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this whole concept, Michelle, of starting small and different key areas that you've given me to think about, whether it's a bathroom, a spice area, and different containers that you can use that I hadn't thought of. So I really feel like this is very valuable. And I'm telling you, I've learned so much from Michelle. And you should see my drawers are also organized. Like once you kind of start, and it gets like you addicting.
It is, because it's visually satisfying.
Very.
And you just know where to find things, and being able to find things, I find, is key. That's the whole point half the time.
We were talking about it earlier because Michelle's so kind, because I have a tendency to lose my credit card. And whenever I say, Michelle, I lost my credit card, it's a pain in the neck for a business card to be lost because they have all these things that are on automatic. And my bookkeeper helps us. But, oh my gosh, it's like, she's so kind. She never does the eye roll. And I'm like, I've only lost it like 3 times in the last 4 years. So anyways, I'm trying so hard to be more efficient.
You're doing great.
Thank you, Michelle. Anyways, well, this is very helpful. I hope you guys learned a lot. If you have any organizing questions, don't hesitate to
Yep.
send me a note and I'll pass it on to Michelle, or you can look her up on Facebook. And so she's just a wealth of information and knowledge. So anyways, this was great fun. Thank you for joining me today,
Absolutely.
Michelle. And then also I wanted to let you know I will see you guys next week. That's June 4th. And then I'll also see you on Postscript Saturday. I don't give the exact time because my Saturday mornings get a little hectic sometimes, but Saturday morning. And in the meantime, thumbs up, whoop, that way. Lots of love, and keep smiling, okay? All right, take care, everybody.